Alright, so in this problem, I have 3 to the power of x plus x equals 30. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract x on both sides. So now I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 30 minus x. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3 to the power of x. So now I have 1 is equal to 30 minus x over 3 to the power of x. Now I can also rewrite this as 30 minus x times 3 to the power of negative x. So now I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by 3 to the power of 30. So now I have 3 to the power of 30 is equal to 30 minus x times 3 to the power of negative x times 3 to the power of 30. That's going to equal 3 to the power of 30 minus x, because these two exponents simply just add with each other. Now I'm going to take e to the power of ln. So I'm going to multiply I'm going to write this as 30 minus x times e to the power of ln 3 times 30 minus x, because e and ln cancel out, so everything over here simply stays the same. So now I have 30 minus x times ln 3 times e to the power of 30 minus x times ln 3 is equal to 3 to the power of 30 times ln 3. I multiply both sides by ln 3. Now this can be written as 30 minus x times ln 3 is equal to the W Lambert function of 3 to the power of 30 times ln 3. And what the W Lambert function is if I take the W Lambert function of something in the form a to the power of a times e to the power of a, this is simply equal to a. So as you can see here, I'm taking the W Lambert function of 3 to the power of 30 times ln 3. However, this isn't the form a times e to the power of a yet, so I'm going to have to change this and make it into that form. So to do that, I'm going to change this to 30 minus x times ln 3 is equal to the W Lambert function of 27 ln 3 times 3 to the power of 27. So I simply just took off 3 to the power of 3 from 3 to the power of 27. Now I can write this as 30 minus x times ln 3 is equal to the W Lambert function of 27 times ln 3 times e to the power of ln 3. And now I can simplify this to 30 minus x is equal to 27, because the W Lambert function is in the right form, so I simply this is equal to 3. So now I have a simple equation. All I have to do is subtract 30 on both sides. So I get negative x is equal to negative 3, meaning x is equal to 3. So this is my answer. Alright, so I have x to the power of 4 minus 9 is equal to 0. So to solve this, I'm going to first rewrite x to the power of 4 as x to the power of 2 times 2. So I have x to the power of 2 times 2 minus 9 I'm going to rewrite as 3 squared, which is equal to 0. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times n, this is simply equal to a to the power of m to the power of n. So x to the power of 2 times 2 I can rewrite as x to the power of 2 to the power of 2. I have this minus 3 squared, which is equal to 0. Now, if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So in this case, a is equal to x squared and b is equal to 3. So I have x squared plus 3 times x squared minus 3 is equal to 0. So now this is going to give me two equations. I'm going to have x squared plus 3 is equal to 0, and I'm going to have x squared minus 3 is equal to 0. So for x squared plus 3 equals 0, all I have to do is simply subtract 3 on both sides. So then these two cancel out, and I'll have x squared is equal to negative 3. So now to solve x squared equals negative 3, I'm going to take the square root on both sides. So I have the square root of x squared is equal to the square root of negative 3. Now the square root of x squared, that's simply equal to x, and the square root of negative 3, I can rewrite as the square root of 3 times the square root of negative 1. So if you guys already didn't know, the square root of negative 1, this is equal to the imaginary number I. So now I have x is equal to the positive or negative, by the way, this is positive or negative, the square root of 3i. So these are two solutions of x. So now for x squared minus 3 equals 0, all I have to do is add 3 on both sides. So now I have x squared is equal to 3. Now if I take the square root on both sides, I have x is equal to positive or negative square root of 3. So these are my 4 solutions to this problem. Alright, so in this problem, I have 2 to the power of 1000 minus 2 to the power of 999 minus 2 to the power of 998. So, to solve this problem, I'm going to start by rewriting 2 to the power of 1000 as 2 to the power of 998 plus 2. I'm going to rewrite 2 to the power of 999 as 2 to the power of 998 plus 1. And I'm going to keep 2 to the power of 998 as is. So now I have 2 to the power of 998 plus 2 minus 2 to the power of 998 plus 1 minus 2 to the power of 998. So all my exponents have 998 in them. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So in this case, I can write 2 to the power of 998 as 2 to the power of 998 times 2 to the power of 2. Now I have 2 to the power of 998 times 2 to the power of 1, and I simply have 2 to the power of 998 at the end. Now, to simplify this, I'm going to simply factor out 2 to the power of 998 from this, because all the terms have 2 to the power of 998 in them. So now I'm going to be left with 2 squared minus 2 to the power of 1 minus 1. Now this is equal to 2 to the power of 998 times 2 squared, as we all know, is 4, minus 2 to the power of 1 is simply 2, and we are left with 1 at the end. So now 2 to the power of 998 times 4 minus 2 minus 1. So to simplify this, 4 minus 2 is simply equal to 2, 2 minus 1 is simply equal to 1, so I have 2 to the power of 998 times 1, which is simply equal to 2 to the power of 998. So this is my answer.